Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As I'm trying to avoid doom scrolling from past few months, or maybe I have succeeded in that also, I am here to share things I do instead of doom scrolling. So, if you're also someone who's trying to avoid doom scroll, then you can take some notes and try some of these few things, and maybe you will get some good ideas. So I'm really excited to share. The weather in Delhi is hilarious, literally. That's why I'm trying to be like a little cozy with my clothes. I'm trying to be like being warm in this hoodie, and this is a new spot where I'm kind of shooting my video after so many months because I think this is the good spot for today. I don't know if this like the lighting is good or not, but I'm hoping so the lighting will be good. So let's start the video. Start with the first thing first. I know this is something very usual that everyone share that they do, but yeah, this is also true that I also do them. So let's start with the journaling. Here are my journals, like these two. They were very boring because this was like just the white, just the black cover. So I ended up doing some creativity and pouring some creativity on the covers of these journal. Here I have written like media journal, and the another one is like the basic journal. In this basic journal, I basically do like few planning, few my daily writings, and like these kind of creativity filled sessions also in my journal. And this is the media journal. Let me tell you, it's almost empty. It's not almost. It's empty. It just has sorry. It just has this list, already watched list I have created of the content. Um, because I was out of the stationery, I was doing my media journal in my Notion and in my notes, and as now I have diary, that's why I am getting into the analog, the physical method again of the media journal. And journaling helps me like to just kind of work like the dopamine for me. It really helps me in understanding my emotion, what I'm going through, and to just kind of put down my thoughts on the paper so that I can just forget them, or I can find an answer for them. I can just focus on the next thing. Journaling really helps me in all of those things. And I know that there are some people who don't really like journaling, and it's not something that everyone should like. It's not something like universal. If you like it, you can do it, or if you don't like it, you can clearly don't do it. It's just on you. But I would really recommend getting a journal. You don't have to sit down every day and write in this. It depends on you. If you really like writing every day, like for me, I spend most of my mornings and evenings with my this journal. I write a lot because I have thoughts, and for me, if I don't write them on a paper, they will keep spiraling in my head. That's why I spend most of my time with this journal. And with this media journal, I only spend Sundays because I write about all the media I have consumed sitting on Sunday. And sometime when I really like something, I just want to sit and write about that, then I do at that moment. Otherwise, Sunday is for this journal. So I would really encourage you to just get a small copy. It doesn't need to be like this diary, like this planner kind of diary, which is calendar. You can just have something like this classmate notebook. I also have journal in this one. So it's nothing to be like too much aesthetic or something. You just need to have a diary with you, or a copy, or a notebook with you. And whenever you feel like that you are feeling that you should grab your phone, or you should open your Instagram or your YouTube shorts, rather than grabbing your phone, go for that notebook, just open it, write the time, and write your feeling, like why do you want to grab your phone, and to doom scroll. What are you feeling? Just write those thoughts there, so it will really stop you from going for your phone or for doom scrolling. That's why I would really encourage you to just get a copy. Don't journal in that, but just kind of try to choose that notebook over your phone when you're feeling like you need to do doom scroll. So these are my cute little journals. I have spent like my last day, 1.5 hour in just kind of preparing them, because the last day I was just using this one, but then I also got this one, so that's why I really needed to differentiate between. That's why I did like this little creativity thing. Becoming a little more analog, because as we all know, we are living in the era of digital, in the digital tools era. We all have Notion, Notes, Trello, Asana, and like Google calendars, Notion calendar. Like these kind of millions of apps to just set and plan your everything in those apps. Even I also do few things digitally. I also have Notion Notes, Notion calendar, Trello, Google Calendar, everything in my laptop and few in my phone also. And they also help me, but it doesn't mean that I should be overly dependent on just being digitally. I can also get into analog method. So I'm keeping this diary with me. This is not so aesthetic, it's just simple diary, a notebook, for 2026. So I am keeping my everything in this, like whatever I plan, like about, like all about my studio and um mm, just give me a few minutes. These kind of to-do lists I made in this diary. If it's about my like passion projects, I work on this. And even for like, I have created a small place to just kind of write down all the content ideas I'm getting. And it also has like, I have created this habit tracker for the month. So I am kind of also getting analog, like just till December I was using Notion for the habit tracker for writing almost everything. But I think I don't like to be depend overly on digital tools. I can just like have one copy and I can do everything in this, from planning of my studio, from writing my projects I'm working on, from some passion project, from everything I want to start new, my habit tracker, my content plan. I can do everything in one diary, because I'm a little messy person when it comes to planning and notebooks. That's why I do everything in one. You can have different copies for everyone. You just don't, but I would really recommend you to become just like little analog rather than depending overly on being digital. So it will really help you to just get a notebook and start writing things, making your to-do list, planning your week, planning your passion project by pen and paper also, rather than just being dependent on your phone or your laptop. That's why I prefer this one a lot. What I feel about myself is that I do doom scroll when I look out and when I go to grab my phone or when I go to grab my laptop. That's when I do doom scroll, because I'm literally grabbing my phone and it's like a whole bhul bhulaiya kind of thing. I opt to go for something like other. I have to check calendar or my notes. I ended up being on Instagram or on YouTube. And so that's why I tend to reach out for notebooks more than phones. But yeah, there are times that what I am looking for is just in my phone. That's also a time when you have to work on your mindset. But I think for me, when I stop reaching out for my phone, that's when it's like I'm not doom scrolling. That's the main, like, it's just for me. Maybe it can be different for you. Now let's talk about the another small copy I have. I know this is not the way the copy should be, but yeah, this is just like a spiral of paper I have, and this is like the commonplace copy or small notebook I have. I write everything I'm getting like an idea. I'm gonna write this here. Like this is a small work I have to do. Then I was planning for some cards and some recipes, so whole ingredient list, and like this is the whole ingredient list, the measurement, whatever it's going to take. I write things here like these 2 pages are solely for ideas. So this is like a commonplace. It's kind of something that is taking place of my notes app, because rather than like if I'm kind of getting some idea or a content piece I have in my mind, rather than going for my phone, I'm gonna go for my notebook and I will write that here. So this is also a great method. Some people say it's a like commonplace journal, but it's just like a notebook where I keep all like notes of whatever I'm thinking, or if there is something that needs to be done but it should not be done like just now, it can be done later. I write those things here. So yeah, these are the notebooks. These are the analog method I use. Will be away from doom scroll, like my journals, my analog planner, and this little notebook. If you don't want to do everything I do, and I think it's also not very, for some people it's not in their financial budget, and I think it's okay also. You don't have to invest in something like these diaries. I also haven't invested in any of these. These all are like my sister have gave me all. There's nothing that I have invested in this. But obviously, you don't have to like get these kind of diaries or notebooks, anything. You can just get like this 40 or 20 rupees wala. This is actually 40, 60 wala register. You can take a whole rough register. You can do all these things in that also. I've been like journaling my whole September, October in this. So it never depends on the notebook you are choosing. It just depends on what you want to do, and just grab anything. You can do that. I even write, I even do journaling in the spare papers I have, and I keep those spare papers in my books. So you can do any way. There is not the right way of doing something, and it should not be a right way. Like if you have to journal, you have to invest in a journal, or if you have to do analog planning, you have to invest in a planner. You can do it anyway. It's just on you. Okay, so now let's start with the physical media I tend to go for rather than going for digital media. And let's start with my most favorite physical media, and that is, I think you all already know. I think you all already know. That is books. I'm in love with these chunks of pages. I'm in love with these. So I usually go for books more than my phone. Or if I'm even going for my phone, I tend to choose my books. These are few maybe that I'm going to read and I'm reading currently. So these are the books. Books are the media that kind of, it's like it's a more important media for me than digital media. And I know that there are so many people who don't like reading, who don't like books, and it's okay. You can opt for some short books if you don't like these kind of chunky books. You can go for short books that are like just 100 pages, within 100 pages, or you can go for comics. If you are like a manga person or you like something like that, you can opt for comics, obviously. So the other physical media that you can read instead of books, this is instead of books, and I know that books are a little expensive than they should be, but I also understand there are a lot of like hard work goes behind making these. That's why they price like this. But if you are not interested in books, and if somehow you don't have them, then you can opt for this physical media, and I am talking about newspaper is just for 7 rupees, 10 rupees, 12 rupees. So you can choose like one day to purchase newspaper, and you can read that slowly throughout the week. It's just on you, it's on you. But papers, you get magazines. Like this is the open magazine that comes every Sunday maybe of the Hindu. It has so many topics, like it is talking about books, series of the year. It is talking about reading books. It's talking about safety of the woman and the nature. It's talking about Gaza, Palestine, and everything. So if you really want to like read a different kind of news, a different kind of media rather than books, then newspaper is the great medium. You can go for newspapers. Apart from newspaper, you can invest in magazines. I don't have any, but I really like magazines. I like food magazines and all so much. I'm gonna get some cookbooks and food magazines, hopefully. So if you are someone who like magazines, you can go for magazines. Like there are so many publication in India. They create like bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, and bi-yearly, annually magazines. If you are able to get their subscription, like there is one in Bangalore, there is one about Bollywood, there is one about poetry publications and reviews. I don't know the exact name, but I was looking for them just few months back. You can subscribe, and they will kind of post that to your address, and you can get them and you can read them. So if you really enjoy magazines, and you can even opt for some old magazines, like um in the old shops or in some like stationery shops, you can get some old magazines. They are not like these days one, they are very old days one. But if you really want to just read something, you can also read the old magazines. And you can opt for, if you really like food, you can opt for food magazine, cookbook, anything. So it just depends on you. And even if you take a small step, just take that. Even if you start with just reading one newspaper or a magazine, like open page or a magazine from a newspaper, it will still be a step. So just take that small step. So this was the physical media. You can take like books, you can take magazines, newspapers. And other than that, now let's talk about some good digital media. It's also needed to be, because now we are living in the age of digital, and no one is really interested in going for newspapers and magazine as much as people used to be. So I'm going to also recommend you some good digital media, so you can invest in that also your time. So yeah, let's start with first Substack. Substack is the app that everyone is talking about currently, and so many people, so many celebrities are like making their way on Substack. So if you're also someone, it's never late, just go there. But Substack is also a social media place. It's not something different from social media, but the only different thing is the content there is different from the other social media places. And because you are kind of getting a whole piece, so eventually you are not using that much. Like for me, I'm reading like a 6 minute 7 minute article, and then I have to digest what I have read just now, so I cannot go instantly on the another one. So I will, like, after reading one article, I usually stop using Substack. So that's the quality I really like about Substack, and no one is trying to kind of ruin this app. And I think this is a very good app we have now in the era of social media, and we should not ruin this. You can just go read a article per day there, and if you are not someone who can read article per day, you can read article in a week. But this is a great place for good media rather than just scrolling endlessly on social media. It's a good place. It has some of the great articles, essays. People are talking about things that needs to be talked about, and there are so many things I learn just from Substack. I didn't even know about those before, and I'm like getting to know about them just through Substack. So it's a great place for me to be. There are few good Substack writers I'm gonna recommend you. These are like just three. One is Postcards by Hasif. Another one is Mixtapes by Gore, and another one is Milk and Cookies by, it was Aditi, something like that. These are just three, and these are my constant one. I read them most. That's why I'm just sharing their name. But you can get so many other person. Like there is Austin Kleon, there is Zoran Mamdani, there is so many other people writing on Substack currently. So you can just go. There is Charlie XCX on Substack. I mean, like, you can just go and you can take a look. Now, if you are not interested in Substack, no problem. There are some other places also that is going to share articles, poetries, reviews, everything just in your mailbox. I have also subscribed few magazines and few online places. They send articles and poetries in my mailbox. It depends what you are choosing. They even send everyday poetry, they even send bi-weekly poetry, and then there is a weekly whole newsletter that comes in your inbox. I just got something great. My mother got me this milk with Bonvita and a protein laddu. You can say protein laddu, but this is actually gond laddu. There are some digital places like New Yorker. I have just subscribed it very recently. They have a paid one also. It has like more broad areas to read, but I have just the normal free one. And they also send like games, Sudoku, crossword, Buffalo, Shuffalo, all these kind of games in your inbox, even every day and bi-weekly. So you can enjoy playing those games. They send food reviews. You can choose them. Like I have food reviews one, book reviews one, literary one, movies one, and these games one. So it's totally on you which one are you choosing, but they send it directly on your mail. And if you're someone who is addicted with their email and they check it every day, then it's right for you. Another one is the Yale review. They talks about books and other articles. I have like the bi-weekly one when they send like the whole newsletter filled with different articles from their archives, from their weekly work, and you can choose them. Another one is Psyche. I am in love with Psyche weekly newsletter. They have broad areas. I have read like recently rest essay or article on rest, and then chatbots essay. So there are some good articles to read. Another one is Paris Review. Paris Review also sends you a poem every day if you have chose for that, and they also send you Paris Review Redux where they talk about their all weekly things and their articles and their interviews from Archive. You can also opt for that. And another one is Byline. I haven't read much from Byline, but they also do like printed one magazines and newsletters bi-monthly and sometime four in a quarter, like autumn and spring and every season wise. So you can choose any of, like if you are living in an area where they can kind of post you, you can surely go for that, because I am in India so I cannot get them probably. They all have a paid subscription also, so if you're someone who can kind of invest in a paid subscription, you can go for paid one. But if you are not, then you can also enjoy free one, because free one also has a great things to read. So these were the digital media. You can go in if you are not someone in physical media, and if you are also not someone in Substack, you can go for these mails and these magazines review houses. Now let's talk about hobbies. If you are trying to avoid doom scrolling, hobbies are the best place to be. um like we have kind of left the world we used to live in when we were a child. We used to live with our hobbies and we used to draw, we used to create things, and as we are getting into this more digital space, we are forgetting that. So it's a great space to be back within. So these are few my hobbies. Like you can see this cat, that like where I'm holding my mic, I have created this, and the same for this rabbit. I've also made so many butterflies. They all are like sticked in the room, and I love to craft things. I'm an origami person, so I keep like I was kind of from like I have started this just from last year, and before that I have forgotten this whole crafting thing, and now I'm getting into this again. So I'm loving this. I made these kind of cute little animals and all. So this is my hobby, and the another one that I have learned recently, that is crocheting. I'm in love with crochet. I've just started learning crochet, and this is my first project I have done in crocheting. This is a tote bag. I have already kind of showed you this one in my previous videos. I'm not going to get this out from this polythene. I'm keeping this in this because it's white. It can get dirt very easily, that's why. And this is the first crochet project I have created after learning crochet, so it's like a big deal for me, and now I'm in love with crocheting. And there are so many other hobbies I love, like I love reading, that's why physical media, digital media, everything. I love dancing, and like these are the hobbies I have. And I'm also investing in new hobbies like crocheting. It's never too late to try something new, and I'm not saying to you to try this crafting hobby or to try this crocheting hobby. No, not everyone has like the same hobbies what I'm going to have. You can choose what you love. Some people love playing, that is their hobby, so just go back to that. If you love badminton, go back to that. I'm in love with badminton, but I'm not getting time to again play that. But I'm gonna very soon, I'm gonna get some time to just go and play badminton. If you love running, just go for running. If you love crocheting, you can do crochet. If you love doing anything, if you have any kind of hobby, if you love drawing, painting, you can just go back to that. And if you don't have any hobbies, even that's a very rare case, but if you don't have any hobbies, try out something new. You will get your hobby, I'm telling you. So now let's talk about something miscellaneous, you can say, some different things. I'm talking about Sudoku. I know I have very badly I have teared this paper, but yes, Sudoku. You can start learning Sudoku. Just last year I have started learning Sudoku. I'm still not that good, but I'm trying to do that. Like I can do till third level of hardness, but after that I'm very dumb with it. I'm learning. You can go for Sudoku. You can go for crosswords. And Sudoku, you don't have to invest so much money. In everyday newspaper, in every newspaper, you get Sudoku and crossword. You can get them. And you can also purchase some old newspapers and you can just solve the Sudoku and crossword they have in them. And if you are someone who can invest in the whole Sudoku book, you can get that. And there is a digital way to playing Sudoku also, but I don't prefer that so much, because Sudoku is kind of a mathematical game. You have to like point things and you have to like mark things. So I really enjoy playing it on the paper rather than digital way. Crossword is something that I do play digitally because I'm not so good with crossword. I'm just trying to learn it. So I have a app in my phone, just crossword puzzle, where they're like starting from very basic one, so you can learn. I have that app. So crossword I play digitally. Other than that, I have Sudoku in my newspaper, and I love to play Sudoku in those old Samsung and Nokia phone, like those small one. I have that one. You can play Sudoku in that one also. It's a great way. If you have kind of your old phone, you can play Sudoku in that. Otherwise, you get Sudoku in newspaper. You can even get a digital Sudoku app, or you can even buy a Sudoku book. It's on you. You can like a new kind of game that is different from just doom scrolling and playing some video games and just playing some dumb games in your phone. So it's a better way. I have started learning Sudoku, so these are the one miscellaneous habit or the thing I do. Other than that, you can watch some long form digital media. I'm talking about YouTube videos. I'm not in so love with shorts. That's why I always opt for long videos. And the thing with long video is that they are long, so you cannot scroll them that much. And I think nowadays, so everyone is just scrolling long form media also, because they are in the habit of so much of watching just like 10-second video, 1 minute video. But I think I love watching long videos. I even watch 1.5 hour vloggers sometimes. Media, watch podcast, watch long vlogs, watch some of like slow vlogs where things are slow, no heavy editing, and simple music, and just small moments, simple moments, and you can watch these kind of long form digital media. Apart from digital media, you can go for walks. I love going for walk. Um, and whenever I go for a walk, I don't use my phone. The reason is behind not using my phone is also that because I don't have like recharge in my phone, because I usually use my Wi-Fi. So as soon as I am going like out from my house, I have nothing in my phone, so I cannot even use it. So I spend time just looking at the nature, feeling nature, and just walking. So I would really recommend you go for walks, but without having your phone with you. And if you have their phone with you, off the network and internet service of your phone, so you can easily enjoy where you are. And if you really kind of don't leave your phone behind, cannot off this, then just add some music in the background, those small lofi music, not those heavy, just simple music, and just enjoy that moment. But I would really recommend you don't go in a park or anywhere to walk and just being in your phone, scrolling, talking to someone. It's good to enjoy the where you are rather than just being on your phone all the time. So I would really recommend you to go for walks. And the interesting thing that I have just started doing is making some weird lists. Like I have started making these weird, not so weird, but I have these kind of lists like 101 things I want to do in 2026. This is actually not 101, it's just 70, but you can just spare some time and just make a list that you want to do 30 things in 2026, 26 things you want to do in 2026, and you can just choose them. Then just try to fill like make some time in your life to just do these things in this year. You can make some list like this. You can make some purchasing list, like things you want to purchase, even if it's like bare minimum a razor. You can make a reading list, you can make a wish list. So just like I'm in list so much, but don't take it to be like, don't take them so much seriously, because then you will get them in your mind and you will start hurting yourself if even one thing didn't get fulfilled. But just take it as something to do. Make it very simple, don't make it too much hard. Like I have written down, like cut down your screen time, take pictures, um talk to person you see, give a compliment, write surprise notes, like these kind of small things you can do. And you can make a list like this. In purchasing list you can write like, I want to purchase a glare, I want to purchase a notebook, like these kind of simple thing. In wish list you can make like, I want to complete this project, or I want to start learning something new, or I want to try this new recipe. It's just on you. Do something that you love, create those kind of lists, but try to be less try them to be less digital and more in person things you want to do. And then just make some time every day or once in a week, and then just try to do them, and you will enjoy them. So these are like the weird list I've started making, and I'm really enjoying this. Another one is learn something new. I'm not talking about learn something new every day. Just learn something new in a whole year. Learn something new in 6 months. Like I have started learning illustrations because I'm in love with digital art nowadays, and I wanted to venture there also. So I would really recommend you start learning something new. If you have interest in something, start with that. And if you don't have any interest, find something new. Just start with that. If you will get interest, continue that. And if you don't, leave that. It's not important in life to stick with everything you do. You can just try, and if it feels good to you, you can do that, and you can just leave that. So these are few little things I do to avoid doom scroll. And you can also try any of this. And I would just really recommend you take some time to understand what doom scrolling is doing to you. I would really link a video down in the description below. I have seen just few days ago. This was about what a short form content is doing to you. I would really recommend just go and see. It's just not about your mood. It has more significant level of effects it has been doing to us. I would really recommend you to go and watch that video, and I would really recommend you to take some time, understand what it's doing to you, and then just take some steps. And I would really recommend you also don't try to do everything at once, like journaling, digital media, physical media, everything at once. Take just one small step every day and will still be effective. Just take that one small step every day, and you will be really ahead from this doom scroll and this era of like where we have given so much importance to the life we have on digital platforms rather than the life we are actually living. So I hope so that these things will help you. And I know at the end of the video probably you will listen a lot of noise. I cannot do anything for that. I'm really sorry. I hope so that this video will help you anyway. And you will enjoy something, you will get something. And if you have any thoughts, you can share them in the comments with me. And if you also do something to be avoid doom scrolling, you can share that with me also, so that maybe I will also get something new to try. Or if you have any physical media to recommend, if you have any digital media to recommend, you can always recommend me in that, because I'm really looking for those medias every time. And I hope so that this video will help you. And just always focus on living your life here in this present moment, not in those social media apps like Instagram and Facebook and whatever these are. Understand what it is doing to you, understand how they works, understand their cons also, because we have overly glamorized their pros, and now it's time to also understand their cons and then choose a better way to use them. And just take a small step. And I also don't understand, people are talking about doom scrolling, that you should not doom scroll or how to be away from doom scroll, things to do instead of doom scrolling, and they are making those content in short form. Actually, short form content is something that makes you to do doom scroll. And if you're talking about doom scroll in the short form content, then I don't think so that you are stopping doom scrolling. This is just my opinion, it's had nothing to do with you. But just take these small steps, try to be away from that, do your own research, make your own mind about things, and then choose a good way for you. And just try any of these things. Start with the small. Even you can start with just solving a sudoku, but just start with something different than spending your time on doom scrolling. Okay, I think that's all for this video. I hope you all will like this, and this is something different, but I just want to talk about this. And currently I'm shivering because of winter, and I need to go and hide in my blanket. So I'm gonna just wrap up this video here. I'll meet you in my next one. I hope this one will help you. You can share your thoughts, your recommendations, your ways to avoid doom scrolling in the comments. I will be really looking forward to your comments. And that's all for this video. I'll meet you in my next one. Until then, take care, ta bye bye, and enjoy your life. And yeah.